Welcome to Oregon Quilting, and we have a little bit of sunshine today, but we know that in April we have April showers because then we will be waiting for May, because in May we will have May flowers. Yes. So welcome once again, and I have a wonderful audience here today. Thank you. And we have our challenge projects to share. And Lynette, would you like to be first?
Sure would.
Thank you.
Okay, so the 3 fat quarters this time were the yellow flower, and then the blue, and an orange splash. And so I actually kind of cheated because I cut it wrong the first time. I was intending to make this, and I cut the strips wrong the first time. And so I had to get 1 more fat quarter of the yellow, so then I couldn't just, toss it. So I ended up making a second one out of the kind of little different proportions, the same sort of pattern. So I put the splash on the back, just table runners.
And explain about this right here.
Oh, this is called texture. The red part on this quilt this mat over here is called Texture Magic, and it's a kind of comes in like a half-yard sheet of cloth, and you sew it to the back of whatever you're doing, and this even has a little piece of batting in between, and you sew it to the back of a strip, and then you hover your iron over it and steam it, and it shrinks up, and so it makes it look like it's really tightly quilted. And then you could just use it the way it is in a block, so it gives some texture instead of, the all-over quilting. You kind of quilt ahead of time. You can do cross strips or, any kind of pattern that you want in there, and it's just good for little pieces of embellishment. And so I thought it would be fun to try it in this little mat. So these were actually made with 4 fat quarters and a little extra red, but I think that's it.
Thank you. Teresa. I always love what everybody's made. I get so excited. Oh my goodness.
This is a table topper, and right now there's a big thing online with the big star. So I've been wanting to make it, and these were perfect fabrics. So isn't it striking? Those fabrics were just so perfect for this. Mm-hmm. So you did a great job, Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you. Actually, John helped me pick out fabric.
You want to see the back?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, we look at backs.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes.
But that's not to be shown, really.
We look at backs.
Oh,
We're
okay.
quilters.
I'll remember that.
Okay, thank you. Sandy? And Sandy comes to us all the way from Hood River.
The Dalles.
Oh, the Dalles. The Dalles, okay. So what time this morning did you and Carolyn leave?
7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my aunt was here last month, and she couldn't be here today. But this is her star, and that's very much like
The table topper.
yeah, the table topper that we just saw. And I did this one, and I'm going to borrow Karen's idea and maybe just make a table runner or a table topper or a quilt at the end of the year using all of the challenge fabrics.
I love that recipe.
That's a Moda print, fabric that I got in a package of fat quarters.
That turned out.
Okay, and my sister was here and showed all of us her challenge quilt,
yeah.
but I forgot to grab it from her before she left. And so Anyway, hers were.
But she did it. She did it.
She did it, and it's squares in a square, and using these colors. So it's
Okay,
really nice.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Joy.
John knows we got faith and joy.
Then we need hope.
So this is all of the challenge fabrics this year so far. The yellow stars are what was this last month. And, sorry I didn't trim.
That's okay. It's got on my ring.
But last time I couldn't remember what the pattern was called for the star. And this is called Star Shadow. And it's a quilt pattern from 1860 to 1890s.
Isn't that really
Yes.
I really like that. Thank you. Thank you.
My birthday's in October.
Helen?
Well, I continued with my David and Goliath.
Okay.
And I didn't like this one, so I decided to do it this way.
Oh. You know, it's so interesting that the same pattern, depending how you do the fabrics, where you place them, how it looks, totally different look to it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Faith.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Oh, hello, Faith. It's so
How are
good to see you.
you?
I'm doing really well.
I almost thought I wasn't going to come today because everybody's showing all their stuff.
Well, I'd still have you help me anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, I have been doing a lot of running around, so you know, I've not made anything.
Yes, you have. It's just not the challenge fabric.
Yeah, I know, Karen. I am the mascot. Yes. The mascot that does not sew. Thank you very much.
Getting very comfortable in that.
Yeah, I seem to. Yes, I'm good at it. But you know, I'm a talker, so there you go. This is Angela Dunaway's challenge for this month. And just to give you an idea of what she's doing, she did not do it on the first month or on January, but she's going to go back, and she was eyeing my January fabric yesterday at my house. But I did check, it's still there. She's going to get another packet because she had made the purses in January. But she's doing this so that each one will be a different month. And I think she did a wonderful job.
And it's her own pattern.
Yeah, she just kind of dreamed it up, and each month will be this pattern, just a different jumble of the different fabrics.
Just wait.
The blues
It's
in the
really-
same spot.
Yeah, the blues will be in the same spot,
That way
unless you want it.
Oh,
unless you want it.
That way when it comes together.
Yeah, if the blues are like this, then you'll have kind of a secondary
pattern.
pattern, which is very cool. And you know, she does a nice job. She doesn't have any of those bunched edges that you have to cut like I do. And this is Renee Hanneman's table runner this time. She wasn't able to come today. She is recuperating, and we wish her well and a speedy recovery. She said that she felt lazy. That's why the middle's not quilted. I said, really? That's not quilted? Okay? But, you know, if you look at the back, that's more quilting than I do. Oh, wait, I'm just a mascot. I digress here.
She really does sew and quilt because the first few months she was the only one who was coming through and helping me. So you made blocks
Yeah, I
at
guess.
6 o'clock in the morning before we
Yeah,
did the
well,
program,
you know,
so.
it was kind of the end of the, you know, I was like getting ready to come, and it's like, wow, I guess I should do something.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. Our quilts today that we have, this one, this fabric is, oh, Karen. We have Karen. Grandma. She's back there with baby, I forgot.
So I did a continuation. I kind of did the continuation thing too. These are my last 2 months, which we saw last time. She already saw those. Oh, they saw them. So this is this month's. And I was concerned about how the yellows together would play out, but I like it because yellow is my favorite color, and so it adds a nice splash of color to these, and it'll be fun to see what next month brings.
They're not going to be happy, let me
No,
tell you.
that's okay. But I think
It's a
it'll be a
challenge.
fun quilt over the whole thing, and I don't know, I may sash it, I may not. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, thank you. Thank
Fun.
you. It's
It's fun.
fun. I'm really enjoying all of your projects and what everybody's making, and to see a lot of you doing the same pattern, but just with the different fabrics, and they
Right.
look so
And the fun part
amazing.
is, like this month, I chose to use. I was thinking I chose an older fabric.
Yeah.
I chose the original fabric right here.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, it kind of tied it back in. Yeah. So it's kind of been fun to use the same pattern, which could get really boring over time, and throw something into it, kind of like yours, where it totally changed the block. So anyway, that was what I did.
Okay, thank
So,
you very
it was fun.
much. Okay. So I have April Showers fabric. It's actually called April Showers. And I just did sometimes I do quick projects. And so this one I decided at 10 o'clock last night I needed to do something. So it's just, it's just like one piece of fabric, you know, and it's folded in half. And then it has batting in it. And then I just did strips. And instead of, I didn't bind, you know, I don't like to bind, so I fold the back over. But instead of having it on the front, I have the folded over part on the back. So it's just going to be a wall hanging that I'll just hang. And then since it's April Showers, and I took from some of our guests' ideas about doing the same thing, but what I'm going to do is add something the next couple of months to this. So we have the umbrellas, and they're three-dimensional, and I'll tell you how I did that. And then the bottom is just patchwork with our fabrics. So the umbrellas. And I have my important tool with me too. Y'all have a drawer in your kitchen with tools? If you don't have the proper sewing ones, I'll show you what we did. So I started with just a pattern, paper pattern. And I just folded it in half like a Valentine, only, you know, it wasn't a Valentine. So this is how I started with paper pattern. So I cut it out of the fabric. And then, in order to get the ribbing, I ironed it first, from the points up to the top. So I pressed it and ironed it. Then what I did, I just stitched along the edge, and I had the right sides out. So then it made like the ribbing.
Like a military pleat in a shirt.
Yeah. Now there are tools, or there are feet that you can have on your sewing machine. And I may have one, I just didn't look for it because I don't remember what it looks like. But there is one that will do those little tucks. So then I was ready. They're sewn, so you needed the underside, right? Okay, I'll show you the wrong way first.
The wrong way.
The wrong way, because this was going to be, but it doesn't work right, because I took the pattern, but if you have it like the wrong, if you're doing it, this way, when you cut it out, it ends up the wrong, it just won't work, because if you try and sew it on, it's going the wrong, the loops are where the points are supposed to be. Took me a while. I see your puzzled faces. If you do it the right way, you cut out, you have your piece that you've got, and then you put the fabric on top of it, and then you cut it out
On top of it,
right sides together and cut it out. Oh, yes.
That's an aha.
Uh-huh. It was. No, see, I'm not perfect. I want to be, but I'm not. So then I had to figure out, once I sewed it on there, how to get it turned. And I don't have any of those fancy turners. Hence a Phillips screwdriver, and it works. You just can put it in there like that, and you just poke it, and it just comes right through like it's supposed to. Isn't that clever? You just never know what I'm going to teach you. See? And then it just works perfect.
See, you too can shop at Harbor Freight for quilting tools.
You can go any place you want to go. But do any of you have one of those drawers in your kitchen? Yeah. I've got screwdrivers, and I've got pliers, and I've got all kinds of hammer. Yeah, I've got a hammer in mine. So.
You mean you're supposed to be able to open that drawer?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yep.
I'll have to look into that one.
And I did the bottom was very, very easy to do. I do a lot with just strips of fabric. So 2.5-inch strips. And so one was this way. And then the other one was green on the outside with just the plaid in the middle. But then the secret to it is the way you press it. So for this one, it's pressed going into the center. And then for the one that was the other way, you have it pressed going out. So then when you sew them together, it's going to look like this, and it goes together very, very easily. The points don't always match, but they come close. But the nice thing is that it will lie flat. So I just press them all the same way. So those were our quilts today. And then I brought clothes again. And this time, this was from Gershwin, Rhapsody in Blue. So it's with blue fabric, and it was from January 2006. So the dress is just a plain dress with a ruffle, a wide ruffle. And then I have the information about Rhapsody in Blue. And then the back, I have some photographs, and this was the actual program. And then This was the cover of Time magazine, actually had Ira Gershwin on. So that's just a miniature of that. And then the newspaper articles are across the bottom. So, so this was worn to the symphony. So that was my oh, and it's actually, it has an autograph on it, I forgot. So a lot of my clothes from the symphony I had autographed. So that was kind of fun. Thank you, thank you. So we hope that you've enjoyed April showers. We're looking forward to May flowers. And we're going to be back shortly and have a segment about our progress on our Quilts of Valor. So we'll be right back. Welcome back again, and we have some of our Quilts of Valor, and some are completed and some are in process. So we wanted to share how we're doing and how it's all coming along, and we will be presenting on, when are we presenting? You will already have seen this program. So first we're going to have Carol come and talk about her quilt, and we have someone who's going to help hold. And we thank you. And hers is ready to be quilted.
So this is the hole in the barn door pattern, and it's still in process, but
Okay.
it'll be done soon, I hope. And that's the back.
The back. I like that. Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you. And I like the way that it alternates the blocks. The red with the blue and the blue with the red.
And then the
That's
binding will
nice.
be this strip.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Okay. And whose is this? Oh, this is Karen's. I remember this. This is... And we have the new grandchild here today, too. So thank you, Karen, for coming and sharing your quilt
No
and your
problem.
grandchild. We all get to be grandma again today.
So
Very nice.
it worked out pretty good. The stars are all pieced, and instead of piecing stripes here, we used this lovely fabric behind us, and that made it easier, and it also gave it a lot of character because no stripe piece is the same because it continues across. It's a variegated kind of stripe. So, and we quilted it up at Charisma's, and Charisma's Corner, yeah. And then I just for a little oomph in the back. It was a way of using up some fabric that I'd had forever.
Yeah, she thought that back fabric was too juvenile, and I don't think
I,
that's
th-
the
I
case
thought
at
it was a
all.
little juvenile. I've had it for, I couldn't even say how long. It's outdated. It's the old days of where they did the little stitching around everything when they toll painted. And that style's totally gone, but it's so cute on the back of this. So
It is.
it worked out really well.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Has a bag to go with it.
Whose is this? Okay. All the way from the Dalles. I got it right. Oh yeah, I mentioned that.
This is the hole in the barn door. just like Carol's, only I used the same center for each one.
So it's right here.
Yeah, and so you don't see the pattern as easily. This quilt is, I like the back because my quilting doesn't show, which is a very good plan when this is the first project I ever quilted. Anyway, it was fun to do.
So Sandy, are you saying this took you out of your comfort zone?
Oh, way out of my comfort zone.
But you did a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
At 2:30 this morning, I was thinking, who signed me up for this?
That would be me.
Oh, yeah. Very, very nice.
Who's on first?
And they also have, we've made the presentation bags, so the quilts will be in the bags for the veterans to take home after we present them to them. So, and the next one is, oh, and this has such a wonderful story. This is Aunt Doris's.
This is Aunt Doris's quilt, and she called me up and she said, I can't do this. I'm going to throw it in the garbage.
Okay,
Or give it to St. Vincent de Paul.
We need to turn
Oh.
it, I think.
All right. Turn it. Okay. You want to hold? Anyway, so we spent an afternoon together working on it, and she was, she just decided she didn't want to do this. And so I took what she had made and finished it. And I think it turned out nice. And I said that my quilt was the first quilt I'd ever, this is the first quilt I ever did. And I learned a lot and when I did my quilt, and I was running out of time. So my quilt is not as dense, the other quilt is not as densely quilted as this one is. But it was a learning experience, and I'm glad I did it.
Well, thank you, Auntie.
Yeah, so Doris did a beautiful job on
Oh, in the back.
what she did,
back.
and on her challenge quilt too, on her challenge block as well.
So thank you.
Stars and stripes and a quilt.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you, thank you. And whose is this?
And it will be Renee's.
Oh, Renee's, okay.
So I will be coming up. This is Renee Hanneman's. Again, as you recall, she is recovering from an illness, and she could not come today. I thought she did a beautiful job. It's similar to, in you know, the basics to Karen's, that it has that star. But when Karen and I drove up to Ephrata from Portland, round trip was over 500 miles. Yeah, round trip was over 500 miles. Took us 5 hours to get there, 5 hours to get back.
Yeah.
This was the
look at
first
it.
time I ever physically quilted on Charisma's Innova. And it was very fun. We enjoyed ourselves. I did not realize how much it takes to quilt, and I was totally impressed. Renee did a wonderful job. Karen provided us with the variegated thread. Charisma can put a quilt on a frame in nothing flat. I mean, she is very good at what she does. And this was off of a template that she had. And I mean, you know, it kind of even made me look like I knew what I was doing. This is the back. A little bit different than the front, but that's okay, considering this is for guys, you know, or women that, you know, they're going to be loving it. Again, Renee did a great job. These were all her colors except for the back one. This was all her stuff out of her stash. So thank you, Renee. And we appreciate it.
Okay, and this one is Teresa's.
Is there a right side up?
Yes, they're words.
Stuck to the back towards the
Here,
camera.
here, here. No, that's the top.
Yeah.
Because it says Land of Liberty on the bottom, so.
This is definitely from my stash. Or I should say the vast majority. I did have to buy some blue for the borders. But it's totally meant to look scrappy. But they're all stars, and I think someone will like it.
Let's put it up
You
here.
worked on this one at the last taping.
Right.
Okay, you had started this on the last taping, which was your first show.
Yes.
So, there it is.
Oh, pretty.
Oh, it's really pretty.
Thank you.
And the white really makes all of your blocks pop.
Yeah. In fact, it almost makes some of these look like the stars are a little smaller because of the surrounding colors.
Dimension.
Yeah,
Really, really pretty. Like it.
that's fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Joy is next. I love the fabrics in this. Here, let's put that. And then if we hold it still, he can.
We need taller presenters.
Well, Mom and I have worked on this a little bit. She sewed some of these ones, and I
Okay,
did kind of the rest.
that's nice.
She's going to help me quilt it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, thank you. And Faith actually is working on a quilt.
Yes,
And-
she is.
Yes, and hers and
I have-
Angela's are similar.
I have stick pokers that come to my house. That would be Angela. They poke me with a stick, make sure I'm staying out of trouble. This is the one that Angela is working on. It's the same center panel as the one that Joy is working with. It's also the same one I will be working with. And I noticed the other day, I mentioned to Elizabeth today that the panel really kind of struck me pretty cool when it was laying on my family room floor, and I was looking at the bottom of it, and it says for 9/11 from Bergsma Gallery. And Jody Bergsma, who is out of Bellingham, is the one that painted this originally, and this is her artwork. I did not realize it, but we know her. She is, we don't know her well, but we know of her, and she has signed personally some of our items in our home, which kind of made this a little bit more of a, not a challenge, but, you know, from the heart kind of thing. This is Angela's. There will be a red border on the outside of this. Mine will be the reverse. It will have the red border close and the yellow border on the outside. And then mine will have red, white, and blue. And Angela's will have red, white, and blue, except all of her corners are, are going to have red. Is going to be at the corner of each one.
Okay.
So like the cornerstones are going to be red, and then she's going to have the white and blue running through every other one. Mine's going to go red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. We'll see how that turns out. But, but you know, Angela did a beautiful job. Her points are so much better than mine. I'm so jealous. But that is it for me.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone that has participated. I know I can be a nag when it comes to getting stuff done. And though I don't follow through myself, I do try.
So I thank all of you who've been working so diligently on the quilts. And I know that the veterans are just going to be so pleased that we are taking the time to say thank you, because so often that's what has not happened. Nobody bothered to say thank you. And so this will be one way that we're able to thank the veterans, and we are going to have 3 different presentation days. And so once again, thank you, and thank you for watching, and we hope that you can go to the website and you'll be able to find out more information. www.oregonquilting.weebly.com, and you can leave comments there for us, and any questions you might have, you can leave the questions on the comments page. And once again, thank you, and thank you to those who came to share today, and we hope to see you next time on Oregon Quilting.